Jared, that's a big smile.
Yeah.
You look excited. We've done it. We got Lady Gaga.
So for those of you who have just joined us and do not know what you're busy looking at, Jared Kale made a bet with the Twitterverse that if he was able to reach lead 13337 in terms of followers, he was going to sing Lady Gaga's Bad Romance on stage.
A cappella. That's quite a feat.
He has confirmed that we have hit the numbers. We have successfully reached our target. Carmack is over the moon. There is some more, shall I say, cringeworthy singing coming our way? Or Jared, have you got
this IEM's been short on awkward.
Now,
I wasn't the stage show, so there's not enough awkward. So I thought, hey, I don't even know the song. I have to now do research tonight. Instead of researching the teams in league, I now have to research Lady Gaga lyrics.
Carmack is over the moon. We actually got the lyrics here on the little touchpad, and we've been showing it off here to Jared.
I could have said Radiohead, you know, or Arcade Fire, something that I'm like, I could get into, you know what I'm saying?
Now, I want to get some confirmation here from Carmack. Is that the full track that Jared will be singing on stage, Carmack?
No.
Is it, he's nodding away there. I think it's going to be the full track on stage. Is it just going to be a segment, or are we going to do the full track on stage?
Just the chorus.
He's saying full track. He's saying full track. We have the whole week ahead of us. That's the reaction. So Jared Kale, Lady Gaga, Bad Romance.
We got it nice and early in the week, so you got plenty of time to learn all the lyrics.
And we'll make sure to come, you know, it will be on YouTube. It will be on the highlight reel. It will be coming to a Reddit thread near you as soon as possible. I hope there will be plenty of
gifts for it too.
Oh, there will be.
Plenty of gifts.
Man, my children are going to see this one day.
One day. Hopefully, Saturday.
Well, let's be honest. You're singing, you know, you might not be able to have children if your singing's not too bad. Do you know what I mean? It depends on your performance.
Oh man,
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sweating. Like I'm actually sweating. I don't know how I didn't think that wasn't going to happen.
You underestimated the power of Carmack, and
I really did.
His resources. There's quite a few big Twitter bases out there under names of like Snoopy,
when it started getting retweeted,
Joe Miller, they kind of helped.
I'm sure everybody's seen it from first thing this morning. I think it's around about 3,000 followers you gained today.
Yeah,
it's still going. It is still going. The Americans seem to have woken up, and it's just.
I've been trying to taunt him into upping the ante and saying that if he hits, you know, a really ridiculous number like 18 or 20K, he'll do it in his underwear. He has partially agreed and said, well, look, can I wear my jacket? And he wants to be fly. So we've in theory agreed to it, but I don't actually know if it's something that's definitely going to happen. I know we got a couple Twitter questions that we've been asking all day long. So if you're on Twitter, not only should you be following Jared Kale, say hello to us as well, and you know, hashtag IEM or pound IEM as it were. I think we got a question. Which team are you guys supporting? You know?
Yeah, we'll bring this back to the competition.
Yeah, we'll bring it back to the competition because, yeah, look, it's going to be a painful thing to watch, and we shall watch and enjoy it. But which team are you supporting, Jared?
I came here. I'm supporting probably SK. It's my favorite team in this tournament.
He just wants a scarf from Ocelot.
Yeah, I
told us that earlier on.
I want a scarf, man.
I believe he owns 25. I brought this up with him about a week or two ago.
Yes,
we were discussing how many scarves does he actually have.
I think more than that.
No, he was asked at the LCS this weekend. It was 25 as his number. Yeah? Although, with the fans, he has opened up to fans, if you have a scarf you want to see him wear, bring it along. So now that we're here,
I'll just do that instead.
He probably has gained a couple more.
I'll wear a scarf instead of singing Lady Gaga, right?
Wear a scarf while singing Lady Gaga.
That would be awesome. Actually, I'm sure he'd loan you a scarf. He has been known to loan scarves to
Will he lend me backup dancers?
I think we could arrange backup dancers.
I think we could arrange backup dancers.
Doing the banana dance in the back there?
There's a possibility, you know.
Ben Q helping us out. Yes. Some fans of yours from, I remember your Katowice.
If I get the Ben Q girls.
Ooh.
That might not make it so
massage
bad.
While you were free-for-alling.
It could be interesting, that is for sure.
Suddenly it doesn't seem like this is such a bad idea, does it?
No. The thing is, you got to remember, backup dancers are for the viewer's pleasure, not for the performer's pleasure. So it's going to be pretty interesting. In terms of the tournament, shall we bring ourselves back on track?
Sure we can. What's
coming up next?
We have players in the lobby for Anexis.
We are about to see Anexis.
Yes, we
versus CJ Entus Frost. Now Anexis, who came in today, and no disrespect whatsoever to the team, but I did not expect them to advance. Probably finish near the bottom.
I don't think you're alone in that, to be completely honest.
No, and now I feel bad. I feel like I don't know enough about them. These guys are playing amazing. 3-0, topping the group right now. They're here because in Sao Paulo, now they're all from Poland, and they went all the way down to Brazil for the IEM Sao Paulo. Probably saying that totally wrong. They finished second. in the whole thing.
They lost to Incredible Miracle, who are out of this tournament. So, by equations, the team that beat them being out, you would not have expected them to be 3-0 in their group right now.
Yeah, I just want to run quickly down their roster. And there it is on your screen. These are some names that if you follow the European scene, you will know. They are not the biggest names, they are not the oldest names, but they have been around in the European scene on various different rosters for quite a while now. Zaxxas, Overpow, Celiva, Arkel, and Erotic.
It's definitely players that are insanely strong as well. They've always been in that sort of pro, sub-pro scene. Whenever we do the online cups and the big money tournaments that are online leagues, they're always there competing. They've just never really brought the goods at a big, large-scale European land until today.
They've been on these various little, I don't want to say no-name teams, every team has a name, but just fun teams they've been playing as friends, this and the other. When Anexis picked them up as a sponsor, then they had the ability to go to these events. They went to the IEMs, they went to the offline things, and they've started to prove that they are more than valuable as a pickup for
Whoever's scouting for Anexis.
Yeah, good choice. Good call. So,
of course, at the moment, 3-0 in their group. They have won every single matchup, so they've defeated, just want to recap this really, really quickly. Anexis have defeated SK Telecom 1, they defeated SK Gaming, and just recently MYM on, off stage. So in terms of performance, it's not like they're beating unknown teams. I mean, these guys are tried and tested.
Well, MYM is playing amazing. They're playing amazing.
Yeah,
we saw that in the opening game.
Yep, they play very, very well themselves. As we've mentioned throughout this tournament, the team, the non-LCS team, the amateur teams, are playing incredibly well. They've had that time off, so to speak, where they haven't been in the public eye so much, but they've still been training, they've still been playing, looking forward to that mid-season to try and get their spot in the LCS. And that training is paying off. They're playing incredibly. But CJ Frost, that is the team they're about to go up against. We'll put their team sheet up on the screen now. And this is arguably going to be Anexis' biggest test.
This is the test. They take this game, they could take it all.
Well, this particular team as well, they're currently sitting 2-1 in the group. The only game that they've lost so far was to SK Telecom 1 earlier in the day. But of course, Anexis beat SKT1. So if you assume, these theories that if they can beat SKT1 and SKT1 beat Frost, in theory, Anexis should be able to do the same. This game was originally scheduled to be off stream. And we just said, you know what, a team that's on a hot streak, that's on a run like this, we need to put them on camera. We need to put them on the main stage. And, we've delivered. So we'll see how they're going to play. The one thing that does counteract us a little bit, we're not 100% sure on the picks and bans on their games. I will actually see if I can find that information out right now. But, we don't really know what they've been playing. How have they been pulling off the games that they've been pulling off? But we do know they've been very close. I believe the previous matchup against MYM, they were actually behind, and it was a comeback in the mid-game that allowed them to pick up a victory.
Yeah, I mean, we know their game against SKT1, they gave Raven that twitch, the twitch that we saw him play in the very first round. He went very, very strong. Again, aggressive early, picking up some strong kills. It's 2 Baron kills in that game. One went to Anexis, they got quickly aced afterwards. The other went to SKT1, and then they still killed SKT1 in the following fight and went on to take the game. So, very action-packed. Goal counts were close through the whole way from the sound of things, and that MYM game actually went on a lot longer than we expected. These games today as a whole have taken a lot longer than yesterday's groups. We were taking 20, 30-minute games yesterday. These ones are being stretched out a little bit longer, a little bit closer, but there's still just as many fights, just as many kills. It's just as action-packed.
I see Jared can see something. His eyes are popping. What are you looking at over there?
I saw Tristana.
Well, okay, let's actually touch a second, right? Anexis versus SK Gaming, the picks that Anexis were running, there was a Singed in the game as well as Caitlyn and Lulu, and Zinzao in the jungle. So these high-priority champions that we've been seeing out of every other matchup, they managed to get on one team. SK Gaming actually had Tristana in their back pocket, but unfortunately it wasn't enough.
It's trolling me. I play Tristana. I know you want to see Tristana, but when I'm on stage, no. Yeah. I'm not going to show you Tristana.
Against SK Telecom 1, Anexis decided to run Rumble in the top lane as well as Nasus in the jungle. So again, seeing that Rumble, seeing that champion that we think is very, very powerful, that we've seen time and time again. Diamond Prox, his Nasus, if I can go that far as to say that, being used in the jungle, and it's pulling them off, making it work for them. So very, very well done.
So, looking down those picks, going from what they've played, what they've let their opponents play, their bans seem to be, I want to say targeted, because there's a lot of strong champions that we've seen throughout the tournament. There's a lot of strong champions that we haven't seen throughout the tournament yet, but have been left open and are in these games that haven't been banned out. So they've done their research on the teams, they've banned up the specific player things, but left open these strong ones. They've got a lot of them themselves, but given up some in the process. But they've made it work. They've got their strategy down. I don't know, obviously, what their warding's like or anything like that, so we'll have to wait until we get into that game. But their communication to beat the teams they have, like SK Telecom 1, is going to have been spot on. I'm expecting big things, not going to lie. There's a lot of pressure on their shoulders. They're going to know that too. This is their first time on stream. If they don't get out of the group, unfortunately, it's going to be their only time on stream.
Well, let's be honest, their chances...
They are 3-0.
Yeah,
they're going to have to lose 2 games in a row and get some kind of crazy group strat going for them not to get out of the group. So they're going to be in high spirits. They're going to have that pressure, but they're going to feel good about it themselves going into it. 3-0, you can't ask for a better way to make your entrance onto stage.
I want to touch on 2 things very, very quickly. First and foremost, Anexis won the coin toss, meaning they are blue side, so they get first pick and first ban. What this does mean for CJ Entus Frost is that they're in a position where they don't necessarily know this team all that well. You know, they can only base the information that they've had leading up to this tournament and, you know, the odd scrims and doing some player research, but it's going to allow them to counter-pick whatever Anexis plays. So Anexis are going to have to pick a strategy that they are comfortable with and that they can actually pull off a victory with, because Azubu, I did it again. CJ Entus Frost will be able to just, you know, have that last pick, allow themselves to go, right, which lane do we really want to counter pick the hardest? And that's the decision it's going to be up to them. How do you play it when you look at the picks and bans of the last few games and they've been a little bit all over the place? You know, you've seen a number of different things.
Yeah, we've got everyone from Frost here in the lobby now, and Anexis are all in there just waiting in the spectator slots, getting their order sorted out, so we should be in Champions League very, very soon. But, as we asked before on Twitter, hashtag IEM, who are you supporting going into this game? Frost or Anexis? Is everyone now leaning towards these underdogs? They're doing so well. Or are you going to stick by your guns with... you just corrected yourself. With CJ Entus Frost.
It's my fault. I opened the floodgates for that one.
It is. It's there now, remembered. It's back in my head. It's been reminded, and it's constantly
Let's just stick with Frost. Everyone knows who they are.
Yes, Frost and Blaze. Blaze, who are out through the next group, waiting to see who their opponents in the quarterfinals are going to be. Could very well be one of these teams.
We've been asked, there was a couple of questions that went out earlier, and they were talking about you know, the teams that we've seen in Group A, the teams that we've seen in Group B, and there was a couple of questions saying, well, do you think Blaze is looking stronger than Frost right now? Do you think Frost is looking stronger than Blaze? It's difficult to say because Group A was a little bit more one-sided in their games. We've seen more, let's say, fair fights, you know, in Group B's games, but who would you say is looking better right now?
When they were first formed, it was Blaze and Frost sister teams. Blaze was the superstars. They were the big guys everyone knew about, everyone was excited for. OGN Spring came around, they met in the final, it was a big sister team final, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. And Blaze won. They went easy, simple victory. I don't think Frost even picked up a game, if my memory serves me correctly. Okay, it was expected. Next time round, Frost stopped. They came back, and everyone went, oh my god, these guys, where did they come from? They've been training hard in the over the break. They came back, and ever since, they've kind of been regarded as the better team. They were meant to be the weaker side. They were meant to be the sister team. Now they have taken the forefront. These are the guys everyone knows. These are the guys that were reaching world finals. These are the guys that were right up there with the best of them. Not taking anything away from Blaze. They are still a very strong team. But Frost is definitely taken that top spot in that pairing. That being said, Blaze, as we've mentioned time and time again, there's that revenge factor, there's that out-to-prove-yourself driver, and that's still there, and it's going to keep following them.
That's definitely what's helping push Anexis, I'm almost sure of it. A team that's sort of been on the fringes, on the outskirts for a very long period of time. You always want to prove how good you are. You know as a team, look, we can do this. We have the ability. It's just a matter of finding the right gear in the right tournament on the right day. And it definitely looks as though they are doing that right now. They are currently 3-0. And if they pick up this, you know, 4th game, you can almost guarantee they'll go through, I believe, by looking at the group standings.
Yeah,
and
they get
where
4, they are guaranteed through.
And, you know, Anexis is really coming out of left field and just surprising absolutely everybody. We've got most of the people in the lobby. It's just a matter of final tweaking, and then we should be able to get this match underway. It's definitely going to be a good one.
You know, I have to wonder, how much could CJ Frost possibly know about Anexis? I mean, they've met the one time, but how many VODs, how many tournaments have Anexis played in compared to so many other teams that they can do research on? They're not in the LCS. They make, you know, relatively infrequent appearances, and so they're a bit of a shadow team. And yeah, I mean, think maybe they'll run a more standard composition. They're probably not going to try anything cheesy or anything weird because they're just going to be safe.
I mean, they're going to have some games to go from. They're going to have the likes of the previous IEMs. There's going to be some LCS EU qualifiers that they can look at. But they were all old patches, different champions, not the best there. They can get some rough ideas of their playstyles, some people's favourite champions. You can go through their rank stats and all that kind of thing. But what Anexis have specifically prepared for this, Frost aren't going to have any idea what they're kind of up against. And honestly, they have limited time to prepare for these events. All these teams have more than enough to go for. It's a 6-team group, so it's bigger than normal. Some of these teams that you're going to have neglected. You're not going to have done the research on them as much as you would the others. You're not going to have looked into them as deep as you would the EGs or the SKs.
And with yesterday,
Anexis,
if you're going to neglect a team, which one do you think you neglected?
Exactly. And with Anexis being the least favoured in the group, everyone expected them to show up but not go too far. If you're going to neglect anyone for research, it would have been them. That might just come back to bite Frost now.
All right, well, finally we're in the Champion Select. Right away, Nidalee and Rumble, the first two bans. Rumble again, wow, such a popular pick and ban this tournament. Shocking a bit to me. Nidalee, not so shocking. Shen, wow, I know I'm completely shocked that Shen just got banned.
Yeah, everybody's so surprised by that one. You know, earlier in the day, Victory was actually picked up by Anexis using Rumble, so obviously, and they're just making sure it's taken away from them. But Xin Zhao still available for selection, as is Vi, champions that we've seen time and time again. So we'll see who they're going to decide to lock in, who they're going to decide to actually play. The Caitlyn Taric, Caitlyn Lulu bottom lane is what Anexis has been running for the majority of their games. I've double-checked, yes, Arkel has played Caitlyn in all 3 of his matchups, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them trying to lock that in later down the line.
Yeah, and we do see their last ban as being KO. That's a popular thing that's shown up before. And there it is, Frost, Caitlyn ban. They've checked what he's been playing in the previous games, and they've not given it. But again, it's still just a strong ban we've seen throughout the tournament in a couple of places. Smart pick here, though. Does leave Xin Zhao open, though. It is first picked instantly by Zaxxas. I have seen him play in the top lane a couple of times. Don't know whether he's going to win to do it here, but it's an option. And that's something that Frost have to bear in mind here when they go through their picks. Until they see something that's definitely going to be in the jungle, or until they are confident enough to go with something exactly, they're not going to have to gamble too hard. Shy, sitting on Singed again. Templar, sitting on Thresh. It was open, wasn't straight away taken. I expect them both to get locked in. And there we go, so Shy is that. Xin doesn't do too badly against him, especially because Singed is fairly weak early on in comparison to his late game. Xin very strong there. You can charge in, use those knockups. Very easy to get ganks onto him early on. If you can shut Singed down early, you can generally dominate throughout the course of the game. But it's still Shy. That's a very, very big task.
The question here for Anexis is, do they know what it takes to counter a Singed? They used it earlier in the day themselves. They have played Singed and picked up a win with him. That sort of implies you understand a champion. You know how to play him. You understand the mechanics behind that champion and what it works, with and against him. So we'll see what they decide to throw up in that top lane to face off against Shy, or as we've been seeing in most of our matches today in the bottom lane, our duo and our solo lanes have been inverted. We've been seeing the AD carry and support up top, and the top lane is down bottom. Sometimes 2v1s, sometimes 2v2s, but at the moment, Overpower hovering over release, and you can see the team is talking. 5 seconds left on the clock. They've used the entire duration of this pick section. You're going to see some types coming in, and it is going to be Varus. So for the first time today, Anexis Arkel will be playing a different AD carry.
I like that Varus pick. He's got a zone slow in his E, which you're going to probably max in lane. He's got that ultimate, which of course will lock Singed in place as he comes running straight towards it. And as the rest of the team clumps up behind Singed, they're going to get caught in it as well. So it's a good one for peeling away as he comes running
And don't forget the healing reduction as well. So all of the insanity...
Stop his regen.
Yeah, the insanity potion regeneration, which is going to be applied there, the Hail of Arrow is immediately going to dissipate the effectiveness of that. And as long as they can keep Shy within that radius for a period of time, it's going to help in bursting him down, because he's not going to be getting just massive amounts of health points back every couple of seconds.
I want to touch quickly before they make the next 2 picks on Mad Life's Thresh. I mean, we know he's an incredible Blitzcrank, we know he's an incredible Thresh, but honestly, I haven't seen him do too much with it in the last couple of games. He landed some solid hooks, he was a consistent player and he was strong in lane, but yeah, he hasn't been overly exciting. He hasn't done the flash hooks, he hasn't made the huge plays. I mean, Fat Mama did some incredible things in the first game of Millennium, initiating the fights, making the plays, really showing us that he was there, reminding us that he is Thresh and he can do a lot of work. Mad Life has let the initiates go on to the in this case, Templar, because he's playing Vi just like he was before, or Shy at something like those, and just kept his carry alive, just stuck to that Urgot last time around. So I want to see something more exciting for him, just because I want a very interesting game. But ultimately, if he plays it like he was before, it's still a very strong Thresh that they need to watch out for.
And of course, Ezreal, a very, very safe AD carry. Going to have that Arcane Shift. We actually have not seen too much Ezreal this weekend. Yeah. He's one of the top AD carries at the moment, one of the preferred picks, etc. But just falling a little bit down this first pick status or must-have status, because if you go back 2 months, it was every single game.
Every single game. You go back to the season 2, every single game. And now it's nice. And it's not that he had any nerfs, really. I think he had one tiny one with the movement, the attack speed. But other than that, really, it's just that maybe other people are discovering that other ADs are very viable, particularly Caitlyn. Her usage just shot way up when people realized it's 650 range at level 1.
It's like going back to season 2, and it does look like Blitzcrank may actually be locked in here. So Elise and Zin going to decide who's going to go jungle, who's going to go top lane. Varus Blitz, a very, very scary combo. The hook into the knock-up into the ultimate from Varus, it just means you're going to be so locked in. But what I would like to see is how Celiva's going to play this Diana. The very previous game, CJ Entus Frost, they faced off against the Diana. Ocelot not managing to make it work in that particular matchup, but it does look like Rapid starts to say, well, I know how to fight Diana. I'm just going to pick here the alien, the nom-nom-nom monster of Kha'Zix.
Like this come from Anexis. You've got that one person going to get grabbed in by a Blitzcrank. You then got your jungles in Shao, leap on them, focus them down, knock them up, keep them CC. Varus, ult the other 4 members of the Frost lineup that are coming in to try and help. Locks up the first one, chains onto the next couple as they come past. Once they get close, Zin can ult, push them all straight back again while you're focusing down this one squishy target. Diana has a lot of burst. She will get through them very, very quickly, and they can then chain Lunar Rush and the like through the rest of the team. Even without the reset, still only a 12-second cooldown, so that's going to come up at least once during the fight, twice if you get the reset. So she's still something you're going to have to look out for, providing the grab does get the right target. Doesn't grab someone squishy, it's going to go very, very badly for them.
You've got the possibility of grabs.
Yeah, it's possibility of double grab. It's going to be something to watch out for, and very interesting if it goes. I don't know quite how the mechanics are going to work on that. I'd imagine Blitzcrank would win out, because Mad Life's hook Mad Life wouldn't go straight to it. It's just going to grab it and hold it for a little bit. Second activate will take him in, but Blitzcrank's obviously going to grab him in straight away.
I hope it happens.
Me too.
That's what I'm counting on.
There's so much potential in Thresh's play. I love it. Well, the game is loading. Everybody's ready. I am so excited to see Anexis play on stage, and I hope you are too. I'm going to throw over to the casters, Joe Miller and Jason Kaplan. Please have so much fun watching.
Thanks a lot, guys. So the first time that we see Anexis here on the mainstream today, they are 1 win away from a guaranteed first spot in the group. That is a ridiculous position that they're in right now.
Considering looking at who they're going to be going up against, we have Millennium and CJ Blaze already advanced in, and obviously second place and third place will be duking it out for that semifinal spot. And this is actually the first time, from earlier today.
Final.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. We'll be doing out for the quarterfinal. Thank you, Joe. But this is the second time in the entire Anexis squad that they've actually played against a Korean team. They've already 1-0'd SK Telecom, and they might go 2-0 here.
They might go 2-0 here. We are going to jump into the game then. Anexis versus CJ Entus Frost. Surely going to be a spectacle to behold. We've seen how strong Anexis have been, or not seen them as the case has been. That's why we kind of switched the schedule up here a little bit so that Anexis could get some time on the mainstream. And they certainly, so far today, have deserved that position as well. Question is, Jason, level 1, we have grabs from both sides. Are we going to see any action?
We better see some action here. If you have a Blitzcrank and a Thresh, you got to go for it. And it looks like Nexus is going to be the ones to actually do that. And while they go ahead and move in position really quick, we have Exatus actually taking 14 flat armor or spell pen in the top lane against Shy. And then we also have the 6% lifesteal on Woong, which is, we've seen actually, I think Genja is the only other one that's run those lifesteal quints.
Yeah, we've been seeing quite a lot from that as we are seeing them actually stood on top of a ward. This could get very, very interesting, especially if Anexis don't put a ward themselves over that top side. And actually they're going to go here for the invade. Will they be able to pull anyone off here with Erotic? Ward goes down by the Wraith and they back off.
Not trying to give away any sort of lead. I actually really wish I was watching the games earlier from Anexis, because we saw them play at Intel Extreme Masters Brazil. They played decently well, but we weren't super impressed like we were from them when they were in Singapore. So I'm kind of curious to see how this time has actually worked out for them in terms of training.
Well, I'd say the results so far show us that they have, in fact, been training a hell of a lot. And I'd suppose them and Pain were the teams that everyone really thought were not going to do well this tournament, because when they were looking at the non-LCS European teams, they were saying Millennium. Well, okay, they might do well. NYM, they might do well as well. But no one really was talking about Anexis coming into this. But my God, what a start they've had so far. Taking down SK Telecom, and Meet Your Makers up until now. But this is most definitely their sternest test.
Interesting. They're actually sending Celivar top lane with this Diana. And it looks like we will have... actually, yeah, we're going to have support AD carry in the mid lane for Nexus, and then Elise going down towards that bottom lane. So this should really catch him off guard here. I'm curious, though, how well Diana can do in a 1v2 lane. Oh, never never mind, not going to matter anyways. We do have Kha'Zix heading up towards this top lane.
Yeah, the AD carry of Woom with his support Mad Life will also come down towards this middle lane. So bit of a mix-up here at the start of things. Well, opens up some very interesting play. Anexis headed over towards the blue buff, but sadly enough for them, are they going to be able to do it?
Well, they might be able to, though. Vi is coming in. Cloud Templar doesn't have those wolves to take. He actually might spot it here. And I'm not sure if they can take it that quick. They do have the AD carry support in the mid lane. And Joe, this is going to be very bad for Anexis. Or could be.
Cloud Templar coming in there is the exhaust down. Flash away, but the knockup came in. Pull back from Blitzcrank. Templar is very low. First blood goes over to Overpower. And he will get that red buff reset for him. And they're going to have the blue buff away.
And when I say it could be bad for Anexis, it actually worked out really well for them. Pick up that first blood. Get it over to their jungler. As in the top lane, we do see Selvar getting very low, as we do see a 3-man kick on this river.
Oh, Erotic could be in trouble here as well. The pull comes in, not quite grabbing Woom. As Varus did come in from that top side as well. So no kills after that initial first blood, but a very important one. That's going to give Xin Zhao a big boost in the jungle.
Yeah, it really would. Not to mention, he did steal away the red buff from Cloud Templar, though he's waiting around trying to go for this blue yet again, and he actually might get trapped as Mad Life's coming around from behind him. And Templar, they actually might pincher him.
Yeah, here we go. This could be bad news. Is the hook going to land onto him? Overpower taking a decent bit of damage here. And they're just auto-attacking him for now. They're going to wait for the hook. There is the hook coming out of Mad Life. What a play. He waited so patiently for that one to happen. And it works out brilliantly. And the red buff goes back over to Cloud Templar.
So great job by Mad Life right there. He waited just long enough because he knew that Overpower was trying to flash out of that Dragon Pit, wait for that right moment, locked him down, and you can't really, I mean, he did get first blood, so he's still doing all right, but you can't really afford to lose those double buffs in this game.
Yeah, a very interesting start between the two junglers, and like you said, after getting that advantage, may have been wiser to just back away and live with the advantage that you've got yourselves from that one. At this point, the blue buff hasn't been taken, of course, from Anexis. That is still on its spawn at this stage. So let's see how these next few minutes develop. Right now, though, 1-1, gold pretty much bang on even.
And I kind of want to actually look at this top lane as we do see Rebstar chasing down Diana, and we were wondering how well Diana would do against this, and not doing too well so far, though. Rebstar is currently out of this mana. He's going to have to buy that tier fairly shortly, and Selvar, I mean, if he builds that Seeker's Arm Guard, he's going to have a pretty easy time, as we do have Cloud Templar coming on for a gank, but Overpower is pretty much coming in for a counter.
Yeah, Overpower at the Tri-Bush right now. If they do this quickly here, CJ Frost, they could actually end up getting killed. Vault Breaker will be dodged by Selvar. Can they get any more? No. They will back away. Frost knowing that they probably can't fight it either. No kills in top lane.
Interesting there. And in mid lane, it's kind of funny. Oh, it's actually worked out really well for Thresh and Ezreal, because Ezreal is pretty much the counter to Blitzcrank in lane S. Oh, we do see actually Arkel getting caught.
Yeah, grab coming in there. Have they got the damage to finish off? Mad Life actually taking a lot of hits himself. Here comes Xin Zhao from the side as well. The pull will grab Mad Life in, but the rest of the team not really reacting to that one. And I think that was some miscommunication from Anexis' side. They could have probably got that kill.
And that's something you can't really afford to happen or allow to happen against CJ Frost. They're going to take advantage of that in every way possible. They easily could have had that kill over to Mad Life, though he did have that flash available. And I kind of wanted to talk about the bot lane a little bit, because Zaz is actually doing a really good job so far on Shy. That flat magic pen he's using is really working out for him. It's really eating through that MR that Shy is going to build up.
Yep, currently it's 28 to 19 CS, so nice little lead building for Zaz. Obviously, when Singe gets stronger into that kind of cocky position that a Singe always gets to, he's going to be going past the tower.
You're saying that with a smile on your face.
Yeah, I just love doing it myself, so I know that it must be even more satisfying to do it at this level of play and completely destroy those waves of minions. So we'll have to see how that one all works out. Right now, it looks like Varus and Blitzcrank are going to be headed top side to go up against Kha'Zix. I wonder if we're going to see that switch over once again.
Oh, Selvar actually gets caught in the mid lane.
Oh, this could be really bad. The exhaust is down. Selvar going very, very low. Xin Zhao going to come in here, but Selvar's going to drop. Can he get the kill onto Mad Life? Flash over the top. Overpower's going to follow him in. And that will actually be Selvar that got it in the end, the kill with the ignite down. Woong in trouble. He will flash away. And a crazy, crazy battle here in mid lane.
And at least Selvar was able to get a kill, because he's so far behind in CS. He was dominating that top lane, 19 to 42 at this point. They did that lane swap just to make sure he could have some sort of CS, since Rapstar was pretty much zoning him. As you see at the bot lane, Shy was able to push that lane back up, and actually he was poising for a second to dive into the turret.
There is the cocky area of play where Singer's like, yep, I'm strong enough now, I'm fast enough with the boots on, I'm just going to get rid of all these minion waves. But he's in the jungle here. This could be really dangerous as Overpower not wanting to face check. There is Celiva going to get in onto Shy, flings him against the wall, pulls him back in. Overpower going to get in there for the knock-up. Can he? Not quite. Actually, there was a flash from Elise who's going to repel over to that side. Here comes Templar from the side though. Surely going to be able to finish off, get stunned up in the end. Can he get the finishing touches on this one? Maybe not, but Rapid Star's coming in. The jump comes around, the Void Spikes miss.
Just missed barely. Actually, well, they didn't. Well, okay, yeah. They technically did miss in the end, but it's because of the Spiderlings out of Xaxis that saved his life right there. They ate the Void Spike instead, and he gets away after a little bit of a risky play. We do have Cal Templar taking away the red buff from Anexis, so he's giving them a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. And Joe, that was such a close fight right there.
200 gold the difference separating out these two teams. Frost, you know, they're not in a bad position in the group. That would be a wrong thing to say. However, Anexis are the team here with a victory that could go all the way, that could top the group with a victory in this one. So we'll have to see how that one all works out for them.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe in Extreme Masters Brazil, Anexis got through off the timebreaker. They didn't actually like win their groups. They just got through off of that.
Yeah, and that's the dangerous thing here, because we have that quarter-final thing. No team really wants to finish in second and third. It's important to get that first place. It means that you've got a day off, pretty much, depending on, we will tomorrow have one semi-final, so it could mean that you have a day off tomorrow and time to watch the games and obviously study for your opponents in the coming matches. But right now we are going to see a lot of action coming into this top lane as the Vault Breaker will land. Actually, it was Assault and Battery that went in there from Temper in the end. He's going to flash in for it. Gets that kill. Arkwell's going to walk away from it, but the rest of the team, they were following in there, and that was a good decision from Arkwell.
That was actually a really good ultimate by him as well. It did lock up Mad Life, it locked off Woong as well, and I mean, obviously it didn't save Blitzcrank's life, but still it was good in the in hindsight. And we see Hannah going head-to-head against Kazik in the mid lane yet again, Joe, and the CS lead is going to start going in favor of Rapstar yet again as Overpower going to take this blue buff away finally. 20 CS is the difference at this point between Kazix and Diana. Kazik's already got that Brutalizer in, so just doesn't get any better, really, for Celiva in that mid lane. At this point, Overpower just come down into the bottom lane for a bit of a gank. He won't have a chance there, as we see Frost invading over towards that blue buff. No wards put down from them, though, so not going to have any vision of that one. It looks like Frost going to make sure that this blue buff is there. Well, it's not. Yeah, it did get taken away. And Anexis, I love how they're actually protecting their own blue as much as possible. They don't have it up just yet. They do have a pink wards down. And actually, luckily for Anexis, they can see the opponent's pink ward, so we'll pick that up in a second as we have that two-man push on the bot lane. But with Kazix and Vi coming around, I'm not sure if they can escape this if they go for it.
Well, Diana started to react to that one as well. They saw Kazix and Vi coming down via those wards. No, they knew that they needed to back off from it. Singe going to go home as well and spend what he has earned in the last few moments of the game. See what he comes back in with. No Magic Mantle. But up until now, Frost are the ones that have this early lead. Mad Life now going to go over. That blue buff spawning in. They don't have any vision of it, and there's a pink ward inside of this brush, but with 4 men there's not really a lot that Anexis are going to be able to do to stop this one. Rapid Star is going to pick up the blue, and Frost walk on out of the jungle.
It's really surprising, because Anexis invested a pink ward there. They wanted to make sure to secure it for themselves, keep it away from the enemy team, but they didn't make a play off of it. I mean, I can understand, because if Celivar did leave that mid lane, they would have had that 2-man push, probably would have gotten the turret, but in the end, losing their own blue buff, not really ideal.
Oh, Shy and Xaxis here having a little bit of an exchange in that bottom lane. Shy just happy to take the farm and then let Xaxis get away. Or is he? He's actually running in quite offensive there, just trying to
Joe top lane.
On that one. We are going to see the lamp gang coming in. There's Assault on Battery. The box goes down. The ultimate comes out of Varus. Arkwell is a dead man here. He's used his barrier, which almost kept him in, but that will be a lovely bit of work coming out of Frost. Again, the power of the lantern showing itself.
That is what is like the best thing about him, is those ganks that you cannot stop. You throw anyone with them that has a slow or some sort of CC, as you saw Cloud Tempo right there, and they're not going to escape. Now Arkwell going down. He's able to buy finally. I mean, he's been farming that lane for quite a long time, but losing that turret as well is going to be very bad for Nexus.
Well, Rapid Star there with that blue buff on. You saw him putting as much damage out as he could. Shy will actually use his teleport to come down into this bottom lane. Doesn't want to miss a single minion in this one. And we know why. We saw how effective he was in that last game. I think effective is probably an understatement even by the situation he was in there at the end. So let's have a look down the items. Then Seeker's Arm Guard picked up for Diana. Pretty much a necessity at this point in the game, I'd say, that armor against Kha'Zix.
Yeah, very true indeed. And the only thing is that the laning phase is almost over. With that turret being taken, CJ Frost can start grouping up, taking a couple of turrets, maybe even go for the Dragon, which they are starting to ping towards. And looking at the rest of the items, we went for an early Sword Boots on Xaxus, and he's going for a Haunting Guys as well, just to stack that penetration, just so he can really deal with Shy. But at this point, with Shy, with those Merc Treads, not really going to be too worried about it, but we do have Frost turning around, maybe? And not actually committing to that fight.
Yeah, decided not to go for it. And the fact is, Dragon was there for the taking, and they've got more men on this bottom side. Forcing Xin Zhao away from that one would be a good move, as we are going to see Dragon start off. Actually, Xin Zhao has been focused on, focusing on Kha'Zix at this point. He saw Rapid Star down to half HP, but came back in with the help of the Lantern, and that will be Dragon picked up. And look at this, Arkwell being pushed on the top lane by Shy. Can he actually get away from this one? I'm not 100% sure. The ultimate is running from Shy, because he's just trying to stay in front of him at all times, maximizing that poison damage. There is the fling. Arkwell being hit by the minions. There is the glue. This is going to be the kill. Ultimate use in the end, but Shy being a boss again.
And Arkwell, that was a nice try by him. He was trying to kite just long enough to get his ultimate up, just get some range between him and Shy, but with no real items built up for Singe, that's how strong as you see. Xaxus gets caught in the bot lane.
Yeah, there is a pull, and there is the repel.
He's going nowhere.
Away. He's not going anywhere, but in the end, without the hook again, they probably just can't lock him down, to be honest.
And Xaxus, he's doing very well for himself so far. He's finally fallen behind in CS of Shy, but this is what Frost does. You know, they finally kill a turret, and they allow Shy to just split push the entire time with that teleport. He gets so farm, gets so strong, that really no one has an answer for that. And if he stays in that top lane, Anexis has to send more than one person to stop him. And of course, if you do that, you leave another turret open or vulnerable to be taken.
Woong and Mad Life here in the bottom lane. We see the pings coming down. They had a ward inside of that Tribush, so they knew that Blitzcrank was being joined by Xin Zhao. In the middle lane, Vi is just waiting here for Celiva to make one step too far in towards his position. Erotic going to join in there as well with the Blitzcrank, but he could even be an easy target after that one, as he gets hits through the minions with those Void Spikes, and in the end, Vi decided not going to be worth it.
Yeah, he's got that ultimate up, so if he does want to engage, this pretty much will be a guaranteed kill if him and Kha'Zix hop on the right person. And Joe, we didn't talk too much about, you know, I'm sorry, late game, is that with Vi and Kha'Zix, and not to mention Singe, if Vi goes in, she has that backup. She has that Kha'Zix to leap in. You have Singe to just run around the enemy team, and she won't, you know, be taken down extremely quickly. And not to mention, if you're Arquella, if you're Varus, you're going to be taken down so easy, as he does get caught by Shy again.
And he's like, really, again? Is this going to happen to me all over again? His ultimate is still not up here. Shy going to be running in there. That ultimate is running. There's the ghost. He's going in for the kill. Arkwell going to get bossed. There's the barrier being used. Shy does not give a monkeys as the fling comes back in. Poison on him. Shy gets another kill onto Varus. Singed OP. As Overpower actually going to flash in there. He was already slowed from the glue, and guess what? He's chasing through that poison trail, and in the end decides not going to be worth it.
In the meantime, the bot lane, CJ Frost making a push here, and Shy 2-0 now. If Arkel can't deal with him and they can't chase him down, how do they expect to kill him as the game does progress? You have so many high priority targets to kill that Shy, you just can't really afford to go for him, because then you'll have the 4 other people just attacking you and killing you just as easily.
Pretty ridiculous stuff at this point. Frost looking very, very strong. Anexis unbeaten up until now in the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. Xaxus gets hit with the Void Spikes there. In the meantime, Overpower and Erotic pushing this top turret as well. So it's going to be not quite taken down in the bottom lane there, as Arkwell is coming in to stop that one from happening. But the pushing power that they have with 3 men, plus the immediate danger of that hook coming out, does actually land there onto Arkwell.
Tempo coming down, Joe. Away. This could be big here. He has his ultimate available. He has that flash. He has the Thresh there to throw the Lantern over the wall. They could easily pick up 2 kills here in a turret if they do decide to go for it.
Well, let's see. Kha'Zix can also jump over.
No.
Could jump over. There's the ultimate coming out. Here comes the push from Frost. They're going to go in towards Xaxus. But Templar gets absolutely destroyed. It was the cocoon that really locked him up. Rapid Star jumps in. Where is Xaxus going to land? Blocked out there with a Void Spikes by Arkwell, and Rapid Star finds himself in a very difficult position. Does get the kill onto Zazas. He's going to use that to jump further into the base, but Celiva is chasing him down. He's managed to land there and will finish him off. There's the hook onto Arkwell though. Going to go in. Box is down. Ignite is down. That is a kill. Here comes Singed. Going to run in with that teleport. Flips Overpower back in there. This is going to be another kill. Woong's actually tanking the turret up there, but it will be Woong to get the kill. Here comes Diana from the side. Celiva gets one. Exhaust goes down onto Singed. He's still faster than the entire team as he flips Erotic out of there. He's still alive. The glue goes down. The hook from Fresh. May just save him in this one, and they will with the Lantern. Amazing from Frost.
And overall, 3 for 3, and I'm really surprised at Nexus. That was such a great kill on Cloud Templar, and they had the advantage. They finally, got a kill, and they could have backed out or at least had some people come in quicker, but they overstayed their welcome, ended up trading evenly, ended up losing the turret as well. And Shy, he is such a monster. You can't even stop him, as he almost has that Rod of Ages on. Actually does when he decides to go back. What a great play out of Anexis to start that fight off, but what an even better play by Frost to follow up with that entire engage.
Well, I mean, it was Frost's fight there. They wanted to get in for that one. The thing is, they handled it perfectly. They stopped Cloud Templar in his tracks with that cocoon. And that's what really started it off nicely for Anexis. They probably shouldn't have lost as many men as they did there in the end, but that's just how it goes sometimes. It leaves us with 3-1 on turrets. 3,400 gold currently is the lead for the Korean side. We have the Dragon coming up in just 40 seconds time. Madlife has that Oracle to clear out the vision of Anexis as well. Yeah, that shows that Frost wants to be really aggressive here. They want to take that Dragon, probably start invading the jungle a little bit, not to mention Baron, which, they have a team that could take it at this point, especially with how tanky Shy is. Anexis needs to bring out something. I mean, they only have one pink ward currently on Erotic, and they kind of need to invest in Oracle as well. They can't really afford to let this Dragon go, but they can't afford to go in a 5-on-5 fight as well. Well, right now, they're doing a good job here of hammering away on this turret, and they're actually going to take that one. Frost not able to do anything about it, and actually they may get sandwiched in. Here we go. Erotic taking a lot of damage, but the rest of Frost are coming in onto this. Overpower going to be the first focus. The Varus ultimate is going to lock them up, but here comes Kha'Zix. One kill for Rapid Star. Shy comes in as well. Double kill for Rapid Star. Can he get the third one in this one? Cloud Templar going very low. Madlife is going to die, and that is going to be a double kill for Celiva. Rapid Star will be helped there by Singe, and look at Arkwell. He's got barely any health left on this one. As Zaza's going to flip, no, not quite. We see the repel coming in. There's a jump away from Rapid Star. He's just about surviving that one as well. Shy not finished just yet. Well, Arkwell did manage to survive somehow with hardly any help.
And it finishes off in a 3v3 even for both teams. And it's kind of surprising because Anexis was the one to get caught, and yet they still kept up even with CJ Frost. And Erotic, I mean, we haven't really seen any amazing pulls just yet, but they have that ability to. If they can just pull anyone on the enemy team, they'll have a pretty easy time killing him if they can lock him down with that cocoon. Obviously, Kha'Zix can jump away, so can Ezreal. Vi's the only one that's kind of iffy to pull, where he can just get into the back line of your team and, knock everyone aside with his ulti.
Yeah, I'd even disagree that it was Anexis who got caught there. There were two men from Frost on that corner bush, stood on the top of that ward. So we'll have to see. They came around the corner. They were stood on that top side where Frost actually put that ward down afterwards. And I think that they thought they were going to do better. That's definitely going to be the case in that one as Frost start off the Dragon. But Anexis not going to give this one up for free. It is going to be a 5 versus 5 in there as Overpower going to dive right in onto the middle of them. Here comes Diana, the pull onto Shy. He gets shut down. Boxes in there from Madlife in a position which not perfect for them in my opinion. Did get a couple of slows off, but didn't really have any impact other than that.
The balls Anexis had on that little engage was insane. I mean, Azazis was sitting at about 3rd life the entire time. Ooh. He said about 3rd life the entire time, and yet they still wanted to go for the engage. They got the pull on Shy and were able to lock him down, and now might be able to pick up this Dragon.
Well, Dragon started. Don't think that Frost are going to give it up just yet, though. Here we go. Ultimate coming out. There's a hook coming down onto Arkwell. The Arcane, the Barrage came in there as well. And now CeBIT right up there with them. Arkwell actually got the kill onto Madlife. Diana could end up turning around here and going for even more action on towards Woong. Templar chasing in towards Arkwell. Assault and Battery comes in. Here comes Rapid Star. It's Cloud Templar that gets the kill. But Rapid Star is with him. But all 4 men from Anexis. Rapid Star jumps in there again. Does get the kill on Elise. Couldn't quite get away. Blitzcrank picks up the kill.
And overall 2 for 2 with Anexis. They did take Dragon. And we saw Rapid Star. He got that kill. He got that reset on his leap, but unfortunately didn't make it over in time. And Erotic now, it looks like he might die.
Well, I'm not sure about that move. He is going to go down. Cloud Templar
Teleport for Shy coming in.
going to go down here as well. Diana picks up that kill. Celiva now, where's his focus going to come in? Shy going to flip him in. Double kill comes down for Ezreal. And now Overpower's got a real problem on his hands. He's going to be running away from them, but Shy, is he going to chase? No, he decides he'll leave that one alone. Oh, does he? Does he? I mean, that bottom...
He's chasing versus pick CSing. He's like, you know what? I want those minions over the kill. But he's doing very well. 165 CS highest in the game at this point. Has a 40 CS lead over his counterpart. And his utility's been very helpless entire game. The slows, the flips. He was able to save Woong there as Overpower's trying to go for the kill. And
they probably could have gone in for that one. On the way out, Woong actually just picking up that last little lizard. Every little bit helps going through. And Shy just leaving that poison on. No need to turn it off, to be honest.
Oh, stacking that tier up as well. Actually, well, if I say stacky, it's already stacked up fully as he's going for that.
If it's not done after that amount of time, then he's been doing something wrong there. He's going to be, of course, stacked up fully. Where's he going to be going in next to buy? He's sat on 1,200 gold at this stage.
Yeah, so he has that Archangel staff. We'll serve some brace when he does go back and buy. But will he go for the death cap again? That's what I'm curious about, Joe.
Well, it's very possible, isn't it? I mean, we saw him in that last game. Thought he was going Zhonya's. He's like, nope, I want the death cap. Needs all that damage. 700 AP with the Baron buff he had on by the end of it. So pretty ridiculous stuff. Right now he's 3-1-3. So getting up to that scary position that we saw him in there before. Other items on the board. Bloodthirster for both AD carries. Ezreal got the static shiv in there as well. A Bloodthirster Brutalizer for Kha'Zix. Locket of the Iron Solari for Vias. Erotic may get caught out here. Are we going to see? Nope, the hook didn't come out onto Erotic. But yeah, for Vi, that Locket is in there. Already got the Giant's Belt as well. Diana, Abyssal Scepter. We've got the Leandris on Elise plus a Giant's Belt as well as we get a pause in from Anexis.
Yeah, I actually really like the Leandris on Xaxis. If he gets that Rise Crystal Scepter built up as well, he's going to have a nice little bit of CC for his team with the slows and help keep Shy away from Arkel and let him to be able to sit back and do damage. Unfortunately for Arkel, though, Woong is very far ahead in his build at this point with that static shove.
Well, just a little bit of a score update for you. EG versus SK Telecom T1. EG lost another one, even till the mid-game apparently, but SK Telecom managing to edge that one out, and that will leave EG 0-for-3 in the group stage. Doing a Fnatic, I was
thinking exactly that. I mean, they do have the chance to get back in. They really do, but it's up to them to win these games and hope for the right losses to come out as well.
So here we go then, back into the game. Pause has been taken off by the teams. What do we have? 2,000 gold lead, Jason. That's nothing, really.
Yeah, really, I mean, especially looking at the kills and looking at towers, we did see Anexis obviously pick up that last dragon to help keep it in their favor. But, I mean, with how much CS that Shy has compared to everyone else on Anexis, that 2,000 gold is pretty much in his pocket. That's where the lead really is.
Yeah, money in the pocket as Diana got the home guard animation on now. A little bit of a spec bug there, but, well, she just looks awesome with the home guard. Constantly running around. I was like, did she just teleport? No, not using teleport. Okay, so a little bit of a bug there in the client, which no, we can't see when a couple of pauses come in. It's Shy is actually going to get the flip. Look at that CC. Celiva doesn't even know what's hit him. Woong going very low, though. And we are going to see him put his ultimate through. There is Elise diving up in the air. They want to get Woong, but they've managed to keep him protected. It was Rapid Star that went in. They've got the hook on Arkwell. Our Rapid Star is still on full HP there. Anexis is going to chase this one. There is the pullback on the Lantern, and it looks like they should be able to escape. Flashing from Arkwell. Woong going to try and kite him from this one. And in the end, Jason, 2-for-0. Off you go. Talk a bit.
And that's considering that Celivar got pulled in right away and killed almost instantly. They were able to get Shy low, Templar low, but Erotic getting chased down right now. I don't think he's actually going to escape this one.
Oh, what a move there as well. Rapid Star pulled in from the Lantern, jumps over the top. They get that kill to finish off onto Blitzcrank. Going in for the blue buff. It's not there.
And like I was saying, I mean, with Celivar dying right away, they still got Shy very low. They got Cloud Templar very low. They got Woong very low. It's just that little bit of extra damage, or maybe Celivar staying alive just a little bit longer would have turned the tides of that battle. Xaxis is doing quite a bit of damage, to be honest, with that penetration. Woong, I mean, he's almost taking true damage from him at this point.
Yeah, he's doing a lot, that's for sure, in these fights. As you said, the survivability of Celivar needs to be a bit higher. I mean, he's got the Seeker's Arm God, headed up, no doubt, towards that Zhonya's, and that's just one thing there which could actually end up turning the fate of the battle.
Yeah, it pretty much gives a sign to Frost that, hey, we can't ult him anymore because he's going to Zhonya's right after, even when he gets flung out. So maybe we need to save it for Aquel. Maybe we need to save it for Xaxus. And actually, I'm not sure on how this works, but I should probably try this one time, is how does Vi Ultimates work with Repel on Elise? Like, does he chase her up there and then knock her down? I'm not too sure.
You're the Rift Myth guy.
I know, right? And I haven't tested
What are you
that.
asking me for?
I'm just really curious because Vi's ultimate is not supposed to be stopped by anything, just like Malphite's, but Elise is untargetable at that point. So I'm not sure how exactly it works out. We'll see how. Well, hopefully we'll see if it happens.
Maybe she'll just go in the sky and never appear again for the rest of the fight. We'll have to see if those timings end up working out so that we can see that. 30 seconds for the Dragon spawn here. Right now we can see that Anexis is doing exactly what they should be doing with that Dragon coming up, which is pushing that middle lane out, getting full control of that middle area is overpowered, taking a big couple of hits. Erotic actually coming in, Lantern going to be deployed there to get him from behind. Yeah. Are they going to be able to kill him off here? Templar is going to go down. That's nice, but to be honest, they're all very, very low. Here comes Rapid Star. Going to finish off. Where's his jump going to come to next? They're following him with Shy. He's got complete vision of them. Rapid Star going to jump straight in on towards Erotic. Elise going to repel from that, but Shy is still super strong. They finally switch their target over to Rapid Star. Overpower ends up dying. Erotic's going to die as well. And look at Xaxus. He is such low HP. And once they get this jump off its cooldown, there's the slow coming in. Ezreal here to mop up. There is the triple kill for Woom.
And seeing that fight right there, Nexus has no answer for Shy at all. He just teleported right behind them, which we've seen happen so many times, even in the last game. They just cannot kill him. Yeah, he can kill Templar, but with Shy attacking you, with Rapid Star jumping around in your backline, even with Woong attacking you from the front, and Malay protects him, you just have to, you can't kill him. And you can't deal with the damage that's currently being brought out to your team.
Yep, and with that ace here, CJ Frost going to be going in, taking a middle inner turret from this. That's a great bit of play. That Dragon is up, as I was talking about it just before that fight all went down. That's going to be picked up by Cloud Templar. And the red buff stolen away here by Woom.
CJ Frost taking every advantage they possibly can. I talked about this yesterday a little bit. It's not about the gold they get really from Dragon at this point. It's just denying the gold away from Anexis, just strangling them as much as possible, taking that red buff away, taking every jungle camp they possibly can, as Anexis is starting to make a move towards Baron. But without an Oracle at this point, and Mad Life picking one up just now. Not sure if this is really going to be a move that they can make.
Oh, I'm not sure about that either, to be honest. They're going to at least have their blue buff, so that's something that they can have. As Blitzcrank just ulting in there. That's because he wanted to clear out those wards at the back of the Baron pit without his passive from his ulti proc and hitting the Baron and getting him a few shots.
Yeah, I can tell you the number of times I've done that before.
Yeah, more times than you've not done that. With Blitzcrank, I'm just going to clear out this. What? Where's all this damage coming from? Yeah, that's something that you just have to do with that Blitzcrank ultimate. Shy there just throwing the glue down in middle.
And Shy is level 17 at this point. If you look at his counterpart Xaxus, he's sitting at 13. You see Overpower at 12, Celevar at 15, Arquel at 14. He is so far ahead because he hasn't really left lane or haven't really needed to do that except the teleports in. You cannot kill him. I mean, being that far ahead with the damage he has, the extra slow on that mega adhesive, he's just like, he's the rock of their team right now.
It's somewhat mirrored to how he was in that last game there as well. He's got, I think, a blue elixir on. If we just take a look quickly over at Shy. Or not, we'll look later, that's fine as well.
Well, I can tell you from my screen, he currently does, sitting at 311 AP at this point. He has that blasting one, might be going for that death cap yet again, Joe. And you might be able to get some extra smiles and seeing him troll as much as possible with that Sin Shoes. 3-1-10, the CS difference he has, he's almost 100 CS ahead of Xaxus. And Xaxus was the one that was kind of keeping Anexis in previously in these fights with the damage that he was putting out.
Well, just as we did look down towards Singe there, didn't actually have it on anyways. Erotic going to get caught out. He was actually hooked there as he flashed over the top of the wall.
Into them?
No, he was hooked and he flashed over the top of the wall like to try and maybe go the other way, but the hook actually stays on him. So, yeah, it didn't really help out at all in that one. As we are seeing Baron being started, here is Shy. He is actually going to be running for his life. He's going to have 3 men chasing him as he flips over Xaxus. He's going to go running around the side. He's going to get ulted by Varus, but he's still running. Singe on beast mode. Celevar takes him down, but he doesn't even care that he died there. He was a distraction. CJ Frost pick up Baron.
And it was a distraction that almost like worked out for him getting getting a couple kills. You see Zaz was very low, overpowered as well. They sent 4 members down there to deal with him, and yet it took them that long to kill him, and they got that low off of it. And now CJ Frost with this Baron going to push up this turret, and not enough home guard boots sitting on Anexis to really stop it.
Yeah, there's the second inner turret, and sorry, third inner turret, final inner turret that was left up for Anexis. That does not bode well. Their jungle going to be completely controlled, and as you can see, their initial response to that is to get some wards down.
Oh, Erotic, he might get caught here.
Oh, he's managed to pull Cloud Temple right into the middle of the moment, but is he really the target that they want to go for? He's one of the tankiest among them. There's the box put down. Are they going to stay and fight here, Frost? They look like they're trying to. There's an overpower going to fall as well. Double kill for Ezreal. He's now focusing in onto Arkwell. Is he going to finish this one off? Yes, he is. Nicely done. Triple kill with Thresh picking up the final one. That is an ace for CJ Frost.
Such a great play out of Mad Life right there. Having that Oracle cleared out any vision, they just waited because they knew that Anexis was going to try to make a play on there, try to push it out, and now they're going to be on the aggression, getting this inhibitor turret, and we'll be able to secure it in Shy. I mean, he's just like, you know what, guys, you stay there. I'm going to go bot lane, get some more farm.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he was spawned, he could have teleported in to help out with the fight, but just show the confidence that they have here among them. There is the first inhibitor. Gonna go down, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised to see them just go straight in for the next one. As it happens, they're gonna play it safely. There's Thresh just hooking over into the Wolves. Take that safe path away.
And CJ Frost will be back with quite a bit of gold. Woong's sitting on 2,800 at this point. Even Mad Life on 2,000, and we see Rapid Star on 1,500. So they were already winning these fights now heavily. These extra items with Blade of the Rune King picked up on Woong, and Zeki's Herald on Mad Life. I can't remember the last time I've seen that item build, actually. And another Oracle's. They're looking pretty unstoppable right now.
Yeah, they're looking very good this time around, just to say Shy going in for the Abyssal Scepter. So we're going a little bit different this time around. Obviously not quite the Rabadons in towards the Zonyas that he went for in that last game, but you know, that Abyssal Scepter, to be honest, he's in the middle of the team. It's a good item for him.
Yeah, and not to mention he's against a double AP team. If we have Cloud Temper anywhere near him, he has that Runic Bulwark as well, sitting at 117 MR. Going to be very high. I think he's around like 180 once he has the ulti and the Bulwark next to him. I mean, that's what was killing him before, the magic damage, but at this point, that really won't do it anymore, so Arkwell needs to build up this damage. He needs to maybe get a Blade of the Rune King to really deal with him, since Shy has no armor. Pretty much everyone on the other team doesn't have armor. They do get a pull in, though. Oh,
they've managed to pull Cloud Temper in there, but is it really going to be enough? The Lantern goes across, and he's pulled back to safety. We saw he didn't really take much damage from that one. And Thresh going to get rid of that ward. No vision over the top here for that pull. It'd have to be a blind one here for Erotic, which he does go for, ends up missing. And Frost are sieging up here towards that bottom inhibitor turret. Can they get it, though? Will we see a fight kicking off right underneath it? It wouldn't surprise me to see Shy just run in there for that one. Already taking a bit of damage. He flips Diana in there. Ultimate coming out of Varus. The box is down as well, as the Ezreal ultimate is going to rip through them. Overpower goes down. Shy will actually die in the end, but look at Woong. He is causing so many problems for them. Got himself a double kill. Rapid Star going to jump into the back. Wouldn't surprise me to see Woong go even further. There is the hook landing on Arkwell. Brilliant play coming out of Mad Life for that one. That is inhibitor number 2 down. We've got the super minions in there already. They're going to start hammering away on the Nexus turrets. Paul comes in. Templar knocked in the air. Can he get finished off? No, the Lantern will pull him in. Zazas chases with the repel. He has to flash away. Erotic here doesn't even have enough healing from the fountain to keep him alive. And CJ Frost going to focus the Nexus and take down a Nexus for the first time here at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship.
And that's why you don't give Shy that Singe, being a pain in their butt the entire time. Fortunately, they did finally go on a losing streak, or not a losing streak, they finally did lose, but still, I mean, they're 3-1 at this point. That is a very good score, and no one really expected Nexus to have that.
Yeah, 3-1, and if they win their next game, I mean, if Anexis and Frost are tied at 4-1 by the end of things, it will be Frost that takes that first spot because of the head-to-head between them. So that was really the vital win in this group in the standings that we have right now. But that's enough from me and Jason here on the caster's desk. We'll be back in a little while for the next game. However, it's time to break it down with Jarrett Cale, who's going to be singing Lady Gaga on stage some point this weekend. So thanks everyone for that one. Just had to get that little reminder in. So he punishes himself through the analysis.
Well, thanks for the reminder, Joe. That's great. I was trying to forget. Anexis taking their first loss of the tournament. You know, it was relatively close, but it was more a little bit of sloppy play on both sides, I think, in some cases.
Yeah. I mean, the first 20, 15, 20 minutes, they weren't really fighting. There were little skirmishes, there were people coming in late, there were 3v3s that got stretched out, one guy died on either side, a fourth guy would come in, make it continue, and it just stretched on and on, little skirmishes rather than proper fights, which is, I think, the first time we've seen it in this tournament. If that's how Anexis played in all the previous games, very interesting way to win games. Very, very new.
Hey, maybe that's the difference between being on stage and being on the side. You know, when all the eyeballs are on you, your nerves are in a different place than they are when...
Also true. To be fair, though, some of those skirmishes, especially approaching the mid-game, the 15 to 25-minute mark, you know, Anexis actually pulled off a bunch of kills. They were about 3,000 or 4,000 gold behind, and around about, I think it was like 17 or 18 minutes, they managed to get 2 or 3 picks around the Dragon, as well as pick up Dragon, and it closed that gold gap to a couple of hundred. So they reveled in the chaos a little bit. The only thing was they couldn't deal with Shy. So they were having these skirmishes, and right near the end, just before Baron was actually picked up, they tried to commit to Shy, like 4 versus 1. And that's that's the plan. We want you to throw everything you have at us because we want Baron.
Now, do you think they went into the game thinking they could hard counter Shy's Singed? Because they left it open. Now, I'm sure they saw, or at least knew of, what happened to the last 2 teams who didn't ban Singed for Shy. They went in there, and then they picked Blitz, and I thought, okay, maybe they're thinking about a pull, and...
I want to say yes, and the reason I say that, they went in with the strategy of ignore Shy and ignore Singed. They picked Diana, Xin Zhao, and Elise. They picked 3 champions that have the ability to dive, to go past, you know, Shy Singed, to ignore him completely and try to jump on the back line, which they did with varying levels of success in the middle game. But the later the game went, the further they got behind, the more damage Shy was dealing, and their inability to kill Wung, when we get to the replay, we'll actually show you, they threw everything they had, and if that team fight could have worked for them, maybe they could have continued to do so. But it's one of those compositions where you've got this, Arsenal likes to call it a no-brain comp, where you just switch into focused dive mode. If you cannot dive and pick up his kills, your team comp's not going to be 100% successful.
You've also got to take into account they played Singed in some of their earlier games on the other stream. So it could have been a gamble, so all right, we'll leave it open. There are other stronger champions open, we'll pick those first, but maybe we can get Singed later on, maybe we can play him. Unfortunately, Frost wanted to pick him earlier on, took it himself, but there's that aspect to throw in there too, and the fact that they play him himself, maybe they felt straight up confident. Well, we know Singed. Yes, Shy's really, really good at it, but we do know it. We can work around it. Didn't quite work. You mentioned that Dragon fight earlier on. Perfect. That's exactly what an Anexis comp was for. One person comes down the comp, grab him out, blow him up. Next person comes down, grab him out, blow him up. Kill Varusat and the guys behind it, lock him up in that ramp. That's exactly what they wanted. They got 2 kills doing it. They got a Drake. Then they stayed for way too long.
Yeah.
They got the objective. I mean, that's the biggest thing, and it's a big thing in solo queue that I really hate, and I know a lot of people do. This is not a deathmatch game. This is an objective-based game. You fight to get control of the objectives. So when you've got the Dragon already, why stay for fighting anymore? That's your objective. Go home, use that advantage, spend that gold, heal up, come back and fight again for another objective. Don't get low, taking all that objective, and then take a fight against a stronger team that's got full health. It just doesn't make any sense.
Especially a team with teleport.
And there's that.
Well, let's jump into a replay. This is probably the game-changing moment. It is around 24 minutes on the game. In terms of kills, in terms of gold, is actually very, very even. This is following the little Dragon pokes back and forth. Anexis, they do pick a fight, and they do very well in the fight. They simply were not able to overcome that last step and pick up kills. Panky, talk us through this.
So we see them, Frost sieging up this mid lane to start with. Celeva's forced to pop his shield after a big poke comes up, a rapid start, and a great hook comes in from Mad Life. That's the initiate. Templar, Assault and Battery goes straight in. It would have gone really deep and under the turret, but a good fling from Shy puts Celeva right in the back of CJ Frost's team. He does use that to his advantage and allows him to get onto Wound, gets close. And we mentioned before how much burst Diana has. Gets Wound very, very low. Overpower goes in to help him out. If that ult had connected, he'd have done it. However, the Arcane Shift came out from Wound, took him out of range for it, as far as I can tell. So he did survive with that little bit of damage. Ult comes back across, his 2 members of Anexis, takes him down very low because he's doing a lot of damage. Another dash comes out from Overpower, but the Arcane Shift is up again, and he just gets out with just enough lifesteal and a tiny little bit of health to survive it. That's the biggest part of this. The rest of Frost now have been taken low by Anexis, but they're backing off, they're pulling away, and then that grab onto Arkel sealed the fate for Anexis themselves. If they had him left up, if they had him on full health, he could have maybe chased this down a little bit more, but he took a lot of extra damage when he was dragged in. They allowed to chunk him down, get rid of his barrier, and then he stayed forward. He's still up there past the rest of his line. He didn't fall back with his tanks, with his Blitzcrank, with his Elise, and Frost were allowed to regroup a little bit. Wound was life-stealing up of creeps this entire time, and they could come back, finish him off, and then take the objectives because they were overall healthier.
It was pretty much the story of every single team fight from there on out. From that point on, every single time they tried to pick an engagement or a fight, they would just, members of CJ Entus Frost would manage to survive, and they just couldn't blow up, the right person. And I remember one particular fight, they managed to get Vi down. They focused Cloud Templar so well, and they burst him down. The problem was they lost 4 players immediately afterwards because they used so many abilities trying to get Vi.
Yeah, and we mentioned Shy Singed. You can burst him down, focus him, stop him early. That's the way Singed works. But they didn't do that. He got to that unkillable point. He stayed at that unkillable point, and they used it. They didn't push on him early enough. They didn't abuse that part of the game where he's weak, where he's not very strong. And credit to Frost, they didn't let them. That's the main reason why. There was a strong early comp there for Anexis, but they just never got the opportunity to really push it home.
Well, Anexis, even though they lost the game, I think we did the maths. They have secured a spot. They have moved on no matter what. That would have secured them first place in the group, but they are moving on no matter what. And I think that means CJ Entus Frost also has secured their place. I think, or maybe not.
I think it might be a bit too early.
Frost is still tied.
There's the table right now. We'll take a quick look through the positions. SK Telecom 1, it is 3-1 in the group. Anexis tied to them 3-1. CJ Entus Frost currently 2-1, while SK Gaming and MYM are 1-2. So I think the next game...
I flipped it. I thought they were at 3-1.
There we go, there we go. So I think the next game will probably determine, the last thing, how valuable, how important these last couple of matchups are. And what's the next game on stream?
The next game on stream is Team Evil Geniuses versus SK Gaming. Now, Team Evil Geniuses just played on the other stream. They lost again, and they are the first team out of Group B.
Yes. Now, the admins were talking about it. We were discussing whether or not they can make it through. And there is this, insane thing. If they win the next 2 games, and if SK Telecom lose the next game, and there's a way that they can tie 2 and 3, apparently, if it goes everything to their way. So they're not 100% out, but it's really, really, really slim chances.
Well, I suck at math, maybe.
It's a very complicated look at this group.
The group not quite as tight as it was, finally spreading a bit. We're seeing the teams that are probably emerge. It's a big game for SK. I don't know. I'm not going to use any more maths. I won't say it's a must-win, but it's kind of a must-win. This game comes out.
I mean, I've kind of wanted to do this one, but we do have Shocks on stage now with Singed. Shy.
I see what you did there.
She's on there, ready to interview that. So thank you again, guys, for watching. We'll see you in the next game.
I'm here with Shy, the master himself, the Singed. Now, Shy, how happy are you when you get that Singed, or when they don't ban it out?
Singed 픽할 때 Singed 밴 안 하면 기분 좋은지 어떤지 Singed 밴 안 돼 있으면
밴 안 돼 있으면 그냥 아무 느낌 없어요. 그냥 밴 안 하면 밴 안 했구나. 근데 그건 좀 있는데 만약에 제가 싱드로 캐리를 했다 쳐요. 근데 그 다음 판에 밴이 안 되면 뭐지? 한 판 더 해보라는 건가? 그런 의미로 그냥 픽하고 그냥 기분 좋죠 뭐.
Well, actually, if they don't ban him, he feels like kind of okay. Why didn't they ban him? But when he picked him once and carried the game, and the next one they still don't ban him, then he's like, why? Why do you still don't ban him? So okay, I'm gonna pick him again and show you.
Okay. Now you can expect that they will ban him out in the next couple of games because you were so strong on him. So you don't have to tell me who you'd go to, but who do you think is strong now in the top lane?
지금 top lane 챔피언 중에서 누가 센 것 같아? Singed 빼고?
싱드 빼고요. 앨리스, 럼블 2개.
He thinks Elise and Rumble are the strong top laners right at the moment.
Okay. And you're in a team with Mad Life, who has some mad hooks on Trash. Do you think that Mad Life is a better person to play Trash than Edward from Gambit Gaming?
Mad Life가 슈퍼 트래시가 Gambit Gaming Edward보다 더 잘하는 누가 더 잘하는지.
메라.
Mad Life?
Okay.
He thinks Mad Life.
Mad Life, of course. Okay, finally, who are you fearing in this tournament? Because there's a big chance you're going to be going through. So who is the one you fear the most? Maybe your brother team, Blaze, or?
지금 대회 남은 팀들끼리 지금 누가 제일 어려울 것 같아? 겁나는 팀 있는지 그냥.
겁나는 팀은 2팀인데 먼저 갬빗 게이밍이랑 블레이즈 2팀이요.
but he's kind of like afraid of two teams. It's going to be CeBIT Gaming and the other places.
Okay, thank you very much to both of you. Time for a short break now, but when we come back, it's going to be a really important match for both of the teams involved. It's going to be EG versus SK, which is always a good matchup, but there's so much at stake here. So don't go anywhere. EG versus SK coming up next.